Hello everyone, and now welcome to Game 3 in a series between Kaz and Nerchio. Game 3 taking place here on Antigua Shipyard, as I really need to stop sitting on my foot. Oh my gosh, that really hurts. Alright, let's go into the game, let's go into the cast, and enjoy Nerchio's 2-0 lead over Kaz at this point, as Kaz has been making made some fundamental mistakes in game 2. That initial Reaper, I really liked it when Reapers were a strong harassment unit. Now they're much more of a scouting unit that can continue to scout because of that natural regeneration. Maybe giving them more of a weapons upgrade will give them a better feel or a better position in the later game, but that's a discussion for someone else at another time. So far, hatchery spawning here, Nerchio at the 5 o'clock location as the red Zerg, Kaz the blue Terran at the 11 o'clock position, and we'll take a look at what the strategies will be. Kaz going back to that 12 rack strategy instead of that 11 rack strategy that he had used on Cloud Kingdom. He didn't like the Reaper and goes, you know what, I'm going to go back to the more traditional style of play that I do like. Perhaps mech will be better here on Antigua Shipyard. Meanwhile, Nerchio looks like he will be going for a hatchery first, and hatchery first, a very safe build. Even though your opponent knows exactly where you have spawned, it's rather far, and as long as Nerchio follows this up with a spawning pool rather quickly, he's in no real danger. Now, Nerchio's strategies have never been to establish up your third base at the 4-minute mark. I know TLO, I know Snoot, and a number of other players do in fact grab that expansion at that 4-minute mark to get a really strong economic advantage, but then again, that is normally against Protoss. Some players are risky enough to try it against Terran from time to time. Kaz, on the other hand, perhaps knowing Nerchio style, now setting up a 1-racks expand of his own, and he will be forced to perhaps place down a bunker here and defend against any roaches and Zerglings. More Marines will be trained. Is he going for double refinery? Nope, he's only going for a single refinery, meaning we will most likely see a factory come down, perhaps a reactor, and then simply just Widow mines, as this second refinery is a little bit later than normal. Or actually not later than normal, just later than if he would want to go for double Banshees. Harvester count is even at this stage. Queens are being trained, so production will go through the roof for Zerg, and both sides are still scouting each other out. SCV is going to get taken down here, just doing a quick run through, gets taken down, no real problem. Double queens are going to be popping up, and now what is Nerchio's follow-up plan going to be? We can see that there is a front door here. I am waiting to see if a reactor will be placed down. I would normally believe so, and nope, no, I guess no reactor will be coming in at all. There is going to be a bunker. It is a little bit closer to home, and okay, the reactor is late, but there is a bunker. It is closer to home, and with the double gas, if he is going for Widow mines, he could go for a Widow mine, a marine drop. There have been some success stories of Widow mine marine drops where the Marines are dropped first, the Widow mines are dropped right after, and the Marines are there to you know, bait away from the more important unit, that Widow mine. Factory will be completed here in just a moment. There is the liftoff. We are going to have the land. And is it going to be effective enough to deal with Nerchio's and his rather slow and methodical Zerg playstyle? He doesn't do those quick expansions, even though we're at the 6-minute mark. And he's still feeling very safe at this point. Okay. Actually, no, it is going to be double Hellions instead, so this may just be a Hellion drop, as we are going into a tech lab once more, or this could be the Hellion into Banshees. Is that the case? Yes, it is going to be Hellion Banshee. Alright, so Apparently, I was completely off in terms of my prediction this time around. You can see Cloak now already being researched. That first Banshee will be getting trained underway in just a moment. We do not see any tech to tier 2. Evolution chambers are down though, so Spore Crawlers not too difficult to train. Their build time only 30 to 35 seconds. As the Hellions are now on a move. The Hellions do look significantly better here in in Heart of the Swarm over Wings of Liberty, but they don't get any additional hit points unless they are in that Hellbat mode. Alright, Vikings now coming in. Gonna go ahead and try and torch out that hatchery. Not gonna work. Now making a move inside the main base. You can see that the Goliath coming back around. And the Hellions, oh, are they gonna get a good torch here? That's a lot of lined up drones, yes. And there goes a whole bunch of units. Now the Hellions need to be careful, as the Zerglings have not been able to get a good surround onto those units. A lot of losses there for Nerchio, as the Hellions will get taken down. And let's take a look at the units lost. 4 workers killed. And that is significant. At this point, it is 38 to 47 with mules for Terran. Meanwhile, an Overlord spots that there is a Banshee underway with the Tech Lab already being trained. And this is huge, as we are now going to see quad Spore Crawlers come out from Nerchio. That Overlord sacrificing himself for the Swarm. Going to be very effective. And oh, this could be bad. This could be very bad. Oh, a beautiful Zergling run by, getting caught by 2 Widow Mines, and 9 Zerglings getting shot down in an instant. Meanwhile, this one Spore Crawler looks like it is going to get shot down here. Queens could be making a trip over. Oh, is it going to get taken down? Yes, it will. And are we... Oh, there's a Spore Crawler in transit. Why aren't you taking it out, Kaz? Oh, as the Cloak now engaged. Okay, the Queen now making its way over. You can see that there is a Spore Crawler there. Drones could get taken down. What is Kaz doing with this one particular Banshee? Oh, the Banshee now going after the drones. Easy pickings, easy targets, and still doing fair amount of damage here. So what's going to be happening next? Let's go. Another drone now taken down. There goes the other attack. Both Banshees are cloaked, and this is dealing a lot of damage here. The Spore Crawlers are all out of position. And with that, they are going to force an Overseer to come in. Okay, there is one Spore Crawler there. The Banshees have to be careful. They're flying very close to a Spore Crawler, not let alone 2. And the 2 Banshees now flying back home safe and sound, taking a little bit of damage, but with 14 kills underneath, they are now in a beautiful position, as Nerchio is only sitting on a 3-worker advantage. Orbital Command now being lifted off and landing. We see a transition into what looks to be massive bioplay, double engineering base, 5 barracks, and this follow-up does look very, very good. Now the Overlord is going to get shot down. There is already creep in position, as Kaz now setting up siege tanks and trying to draw down a line. How many Banshees are out there? There are 3 Banshees on the field. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so a new Banshee now being brought over here. Again, drone after drone now getting taken down. It looks very, very impressive how many worker kills that these Banshees have gotten so far. We are, I believe, up to 22 now, and this is still looking good, better and better for Kaz, as he is now backing away. Problem though, Kaz focusing a lot on the micro, maybe letting his macro slip, as he is sitting on 1,500 resources. Alright. My assistant letting me know what I have next. Anyway, siege tanks being brought over, all positioned into this location here. You see heavy production now coming in from Kaz, as he needs to spend all of the resources that he's been gathering over time. Now currently supply blocked. The Banshees have regrouped themselves and now going after a couple of Zerglings here. 3 Banshees will be working together perhaps, and 3 Banshees should be able to put down a lot of pressure. The Queen may not be able to engage. The Spore Crawler has a range of 7. You got to be very, very careful, as the Banshees are slightly underranged here. And with that, these Banshee pilots have to figure out, okay, how close can I get without actually taking damage? Oh, going after, it needs to back away. Come on, Kaz, be better with your Banshee pilot, taking a lot of frivolous damage without any real necessity, as Kaz still has a 50 supply advantage, but he cannot let his foot off the gas. He needs to continue to apply pressure. He cannot allow Nerchio to simply macro up the army he wants, as Zerg players can replenish their armies much more quickly. Alright, we now have 8 barracks underway. Heavy production buildings, 8 barracks, 2 factories, 1 starport, as the command center now making its way off to the center. This is going to be a slap in the face, as Kaz going to be establishing a planetary fortress. This is absolutely huge. The Marines and the Marines, only Marines, nothing really else, and I don't believe Banshees are in play. This could be potentially a bad sign here, as the siege tanks are getting in position. Any Mutalisks will get shot down here very quickly, as the Marines are very effective against those Mutalisks. Oh, a beautiful fungal growth, though. Is it going to take out anything, as the Queens now trying to push their way through? All right, siege tanks need to get into siege mode. Is that fungal growth going to land? It looks as though, yes, it will, but the Infestor is taken down for it. Kaz taking a lot of damage here, as the Roaches continuing that push. The siege tank simply too far back to deal the necessary damage. And this is looking very bad for Kaz. Kaz losing a lot more in this engagement than he would like to admit, but he is taking a forward position and now perhaps establishing that planetary fortress. Here we go. What's happening next? Marines, siege tanks. Oh, no Hellbats. Infestors coming in. Infested Terran launching all of those units there. No real damage dealt, though. A couple shots on those siege tanks with that splash damage. And the siege tanks still looking strong, as the reinforcements are regrouping back at home and will be pushing forward once more. Alright, the planetary fortress is down, calling down mules into this location. Mules are not extra effective there, but still, if you have the choice between losing Zergling or SCVs or mules, you would rather lose the mules, as we now see the Zerglings cleaning this up. Kaz, without the Hellbats that he had in Game 2, makes the Zergling threat that much stronger. Alright, here you go. Siege tanks now ready to go. That spine crawler not long for life. Down it goes. The Queens now trying to pressure forward. Are they going to be able to get into position? The Queens are getting shelled from the back. Not the equator, as the Marines just completely pushing forward again. Just constant shelling and constant wave after wave. Those Crucial shock cannons doing so much damage here. Hatchery now going to get sniped down. It looks as though the Queen's trying to position themselves, but that siege tank just within combat range to deal at least some damage. Alright, this is not looking good. Are the Marines going to perhaps be able to jump inside those medevacs? Not very much energy any longer. Queens, where are all of these Queens coming from, as we are waiting for the Ultralisks? 2 Ultralisks being trained, 4 being trained, as 3 Ultralisks now show up on the field pretty much out of nowhere, and those Ultralisks go to town and destroy this attacking force. Alright, what's going to be happening next? Oh, Ultralisk running into Widow Mines again. This is going to be bad news for them. Is it going to be enough? The Ultralisk getting shot down here, but there doesn't seem to be any real follow-up play, as the Queens are now going after a couple of these missile turrets. There are still Widow Mines in position. I believe Nerchio is controlling this. The Widow Mines could get here in just a second. Oh, there are the Overseer. Nerchio did notice that there was Widow Mines and decided to hold it, or bring over the Overseer. SCVs now mining at the planetary fortress. A drop happening here. However, Ultralisks giving hugs to a whole bunch of Marines, and Marines are allergic to Ultralisk hugs, as you can see by all of these units here. Alright, Marines now dropping another location, taking down another hatchery. Nerchio with the supply advantage, but down on bases. You never want to be that way when going up against a Zerg. Here comes the Ultralisk. They need to group up together. What is going to be the answer to stop all of these units? And here we go. Siege tank, planetary fortress, Marines need to get away. The Ultralisks are going to be able to two-swipe all of these units. Planetary fortress now being brought over. Is this enough? SCVs need to repair this planetary fortress if there is to be any chance whatsoever, as the Ultralisk still dancing around. Terran players having a difficult time. All ground units pretty much. Oh, a beautiful location here in order to shoot down all of these units. SCVs are repairing the planetary fortress. Only 2 kills so far, and it looks like the planetary fortress will get taken down. Marines now coming back over salvaging of that bunker, getting a little bit of the resources lost, as Nerchio sits on 166 supply advantage compared to Kaz's 140. Harvester count 71 to 72. Additional command centers now being placed down. We are on two bases, or I would say two bases to two bases at this point. Actually 2 to 1.5. Nerchio has a much larger army, but a much smaller bank. Production, Kaz trying to figure out what he can do to really stop all of those Ultralisks. I believe that the upgrade to Ultralisk, dealing 44 damage to light units as well, was simply too good, as Terran players don't have an effective damage from air to ground, as Ultralisks already have 6 armor. Here we go. There's the attack backing. Both sides will be attacking once more. And will those Ultralisks be able to engage? It looks like they will not be able to, but a fungal growth, a beautiful fungal growth by Nerchio, shuts down a group of Marines once more. Oh, this battle going back and forth, looking ever so strong. Ultralisks still being hatched. And what are we seeing here? Another hatchery perhaps going to fall. No, it looks like it shall not fall. The Spore Crawler is getting the necessary kills to make sure that this hatchery does stay up. The medevac unable to unload everything. Meanwhile, another medevac drop here. Kaz being everywhere at once. The Ultralisks, oh, it looks as though the medevac is just going to pick up, and all those Zerglings are back over here. Really, you need Hellbats in order to deal with Zerglings at this stage in the game. Zerglings can get two-shotted, or maybe even one-shotted if you have the significant weapons upgrades. Kaz making a move forward, bringing over a whole bunch of SCVs to a ninja expansions he's established here, and now trying to engage siege tanks. Oh, this could be bad news here. Queens, Ultralisks, is it enough? The Ultralisks unable to get the proper flank since they are attacking from the high ground, and this was a beautiful move by Kaz, making sure that all the Ultralisks couldn't just straight up run into the units. A beautiful use of the terrain by Kaz. I don't know if it was on purpose, but since the Ultralisks were forced to walk around, they took a lot more damage. Here we go. You can see the Ultralisks now slicing their way through. What they do once they get within range, and down all of those units go again. Alright, this is going to be bad news. This is what Zerg players hate on Antigua Shipyard. And there's the talk. Well, this map is a free win for Terran, as Nerchio says GG. So a little bit of BM there, as Nerchio loses game 3. Kaz getting on the board for the first time, 2 to 1. Now, this is not a best of 3 series. This is a best of 9. More games will be coming at you later next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.